What's up, everybody? It's Mike Copera with podcastcondition.com, bringing you the 113th episode of What You Drinking. Here with Dan. How you doing, buddy?
Fine. How's it going?
Good. So Chris, oh, there's the cat. So Chris, he came up with the theme of today's show, and he decided not to show. He's a little busy tonight, so he's might actually be just you and I. I texted with Kevin earlier to let him know what we were doing, and he didn't say whether he was able to come or not. He just said it was a good idea as far as the theme goes.
Okay.
So,
You can.
so I kind of followed, but I kind of didn't. I don't know. I kind of went with what I had in the fridge because I didn't have time to go to the store, but I think it qualifies. So Chris wanted us to do what he considered wacky beers, which was either something that falls in the category of a style that you're not familiar with, or a common style that has like an ingredient that's not typically found in that style. So were you able to follow those guidelines, or did you kind of go off of?
A little bit of both. I'm actually drinking a homebrew. I've got my pale ale. This is the Admiral Nelson's Mid-Coast American Pale Ale, the 2.0 version. But it qualifies. Yeah, it qualifies for a couple of different reasons. One, I switched over to a Pilsner malt, which is a little weird to use in a pale ale. Usually you're using a regular two-row pale malt, or maybe a British pale malt, something like that. So I went with a Belgian Pilsner. And I boiled the snot out of it, which is why there's so much head retention, because it gets the proteins going in there and gets the head retention going up. But the other thing is, instead of since it's an American pale, I went off script and actually brewed it with a Scottish ale yeast. So
Nice.
So it's a little bit. It kind of qualifies,
Whoa, this is crazy.
Uh-oh, what do you got going on there?
Keep talking about your beer. Let's finish. I don't want to interrupt.
Okay, but it's it turned out really nicely. I've got a couple more tweaks on the grain bill, and I think it's ready to kind of show. But it's the hops right now, and I think I'm going to add one more, are Nelson Sauvin, which is where the Admiral Nelson comes from, and come on, it's a Amarillo, and it's dry hopped to them too, so it's really aromatic, nice and fruity, a little bit of grapefruit in there. It's very tasty. So, nice. What you drinking?
So I've got a farmhouse ale, or a saison, brewed with raspberries. And
okay.
Man, look at the color on this. It's like pink.
Oh, that's hazy and pink too.
Yeah,
almost like a peachy pink. Yeah.
So this is the Prairie Artisan Ale's third anniversary ale. Had a cool little label too. It's all comic book style.
Oh, I've seen that in the stores. Yeah.
Yeah. So this, there was only one left, and the guy at Benny's was highly recommending it. So he kind of bent my arm a little back.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. It smells awesome. Like the raspberries really come out. It doesn't. What does this remind me of? There's another beer, maybe like the Soft Parade from Shorts,
okay.
which has a lot of different fruits in it.
Okay, and I have no familiarity with that one. So
that one that might be what Kevin brings, because he was like, "Oh, that sounds like." He's like, the first thing that comes to mind is Soft Parade, for the style that we were doing tonight.
Right.
But yeah, it's, now that I smell it a little bit more, now the characteristics of a saison come out a little bit more. And it's not, yeah, that's crazy. So now that now my brain's kind of like messing with myself, with my own thoughts as far as what I smell. Like now it's less raspberry and more saison. It's so weird.
Okay.
That kind of changed in my head. But
That's weird.
It was after I had a sip that it becomes more of a saison to me. Oh,
It could be that you're really getting more flavor from the yeast on your tongue than you are in your mouth, or than you are that raspberry flavor. But
yeah.
it's more apparent, aromatically from the raspberries when you sniff it. So
I
it's
really like it though.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
it's really hazy.
Yeah, it is. It looks good.
It really is. I would grab one if you still see it again. Um,
Okay.
I didn't see it the last time I went, but they might come out again. I saw. Have you had the Prairie Rom yet? I know you picked up a bottle of that.
I did not. I have that down in the basement, kind of set aside,
It's delicious.
along with its brethren. I heard.
It's really good. I've never had it before, so I was like, I'm not going to age this if I don't know what it originally tastes like. So, have you had it before?
No, I have not.
Man, have it for one of the holidays, man. I guarantee you'll be savoring that for a while in the
Nice.
glass. It's a good one. But I saw they've got a Christmas bomb now that
I do.
they've been popping up all over on the internets.
Yeah, it sounds like when those things get released, there's got to be some sort of distribution, sort of. I don't know if it's calendar, because I remember seeing Backwoods Bastard pop up online and people talking about it, and then about a week later we saw it in Chicago. So I don't know if we're getting a lag time on some of this stuff, or it's just the way the distributors work, or whatever. But
I mean, could have been people in Michigan, so posting. I'm sure they get all that stuff first. Makes sense.
Lucky.
I might have to get another 4-pack of that stuff.
Yeah, it is really good.
I put 2 in the closet, and I still have a 14, and I've got 1 left in the fridge, and I might have to get more. Because they had plenty of it when I went to Benny's. Well, it was late last week, so hopefully it's still there. But it's delicious, man.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think Backwoods Bastard is interesting in that KBS gets so much, so much hype. It's not even hype. It's a good beer, but it gets so much press, I guess is the better way of putting it. Mm-hmm. And I think that beers like the Backwoods Bastard, even though they're as good, or it might even be better, arguably, it's a different style. It's not a stout. It's a Scotch ale or a wee heavy, and people just kind of don't pay as much attention, I don't think.
Yeah, to be honest, the Scotch ale is not one of my favorites. So it's one that I kind of it's the bourbon character that really does it for me, obviously, because it's not that style.
But it kind of is in that the bourbon matches up well with that style. So even if it's not the one you go to naturally, I think there's just something about that combo that's a sweet spot for whatever reason.
It could be. I don't know. It's trying to get a picture of this one for capturing records of all the beers I got. But yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a bourbon freak now, as it is. I don't drink much spirit, but I'm digging any beer that's been coming out of a bourbon barrel lately these days. And it's it's good, and it's not, because those are usually high ABVs, and those are actually the style of beers that my wife's not really a fan of, bourbon barrel aged beers. So
when they come in bombers all the time,
I know. So
that's brutal.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all right, because I'll what's nice is I'll savor one of those. I had the last Backwoods Bastard I had was in my glass for like 3 or 4 hours, just sitting there watching TV, taking small sips. So
yeah,
I have no issues. But yeah, we're a week and a couple days away from Black Friday.
That's right. That's right. We've been busy in our war strategy.
Yeah. So I know, I know. So we've talked about probably Bourbon County Stout every episode for the last month now at this point, since announcing stuff. So I apologize if you're not able to grab it and you're tired of hearing about this, anyone who watches, but I don't know. What is your game plan? Are you trying to get everything that you can possibly get your hands on, or Any that you're like, I don't,
The Festival of Barrel Aged Beers is coming up this weekend, and I'm going to be attending, but I'm also pulling a couple of shifts there. And I figured that the Goose Island tent or bar, or whatever you want to call it, it's like this pagoda almost that they set up in the corner, should have all the variants and probably a couple of extra. But my plan is sort of, okay, since I'm volunteering, hopefully I'll get in early enough that I can just kind of zit, and I can try all, everything that's coming out and see what I want to do.
yeah,
Because I know that the rare is kind of where you've been on the fence, and I'm getting there too, in that it's $60 for a pint, not a bomber, a pint of beer. And, how different can it really be from the base beer in terms of, how much additional flavor that particular barrel imparts?
yeah.
That's a big question.
So oh, nice,
Yeah,
Skylar. What's up, Skylar?
How's it going, Ed?
Good, man. I didn't know you were even possibly a possibility of showing up today, so that's cool.
I remember you said you were bringing both a barley wine and a beer to style.
Yes, good memory there. Starting off with the 2 style, I got the Stone 24 karat golden ale. It's a carrot cake inspired Belgian style ale.
That's right.
Pretty weird.
That's a perfect fit for this.
That is.
Style. How is that? Because I've seen that and I haven't.
I'm about to find out. Oh, that's super Belgian for one.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I don't get the carrot in there. And then again, I can imagine that would be a very difficult flavor to really infuse.
Yeah.
What about like any of the characteristics of a carrot cake? Isn't there like a cinnamony?
Right. So they also brewed it with cinnamon, raisins, and vanilla beans. And right off the bat, I get the vanilla beans. And then on the exhale, I get a little bit of the cinnamon and raisin. I would say it's okay. Breathing out tastes like you just ate carrot cake. So
that's interesting.
Success to Stone.
So
what did you guys bring to the table tonight?
Well, I brought a homebrew because that's what I had handy.
There you go.
But it fits style because it's an American pale ale made with the Belgian Pilsner malt and Scottish ale yeast. So
Nice.
and actually I like this. It turned out well.
Mine's a very pinkish saison or farmhouse ale made by Prairie Artisan Ales. It's their 3rd anniversary beer.
That's a good beer.
Yeah, it's very good. Have you had it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get that? I didn't know you can get Prairie out in Texas.
They actually
cool.
started distributing in Texas about 2 years ago. But I had even had it before that. I love Prairie.
I am a huge fan. Like I'm kind of obsessed with them a little bit lately. They, and they I'm hoping they age well too, because I've been stocking a few of their things back in the closet every once in a while.
Yeah, between them and I met those guys over at Jester King. I know Prairie and Jester King are always doing stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Actually, that's one way we might see more Jester King up here would be if they do a collaboration that Prairie distributes this way.
Exactly.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, because then they did a collab with somebody that it was released up here. Can't remember who that was now.
Oh yeah, they did.
Maybe it was a Prairie beer. I don't know. I saw that 18th Street just did something with. Who was it? Was it? And that's gonna kill me now that I'm like picturing the bottle. They just did a collab with somebody. For. Oh, it was what's that one in Southern Illinois?
Oh, which one? There are a couple down there now. There's the one that has like the Bigfoot and
no, it's the one that does all the
Scratch. Is it Scratch Brewing?
No, I know what you're talking about now. Um, I don't know. I'll find it. I just saw it go by on my Instagram not too long ago, earlier today, so I'll find it again.
Okay.
Um, oh, that Bourbon County box looks awesome though. Have you seen the container it's coming in? I don't know if this is
Yeah.
coming through. It's so they were doing some really good kind of detective work based on what they think is the actual cost involved with making that beer and putting
Yeah.
it out, not counting like the marketing and all that stuff. Um, they calculated that box alone to be like $8 as part of that $60 price tag.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Keep the box. I can.
you say that, but it's cool. I mean,
I, I'm not disputing that, but it's like if I can, I'm not going to keep that around as a memento of the time I bought beer.
I would. I bet you there's some cool stuff you can keep in that. No, but I don't know. I don't think the price would have gone down if they didn't put they didn't put it
No,
in the
I'm
box.
I'm
You
sure it
know.
wouldn't.
But what I did hear was that so one of the podcasts I listened to based in Chicago here called Beer Download, um, they they went to the event as like press kind of a guest, so they didn't get to buy the Bourbon County rare, but they got to go in and taste it and be a part of the event and report on it. So they were handed a sample of the rare as you walk in, and then they were releasing all the variants throughout the night, and you got to try everything basically. Um, they said that the 35-year-old Heaven Hill barrels are, you get more wood quality out of this particular variant of Bourbon County than you do out of any others. But I think the consensus was, would I pay $60 for it? Probably not. If you can buy a regular Bourbon County stock for like a $10 price tag, it's so because I don't even know what they're gonna charge this year for the 16.9 ounce bottle. Did you say you saw that or no?
Well, I saw that they Goose Island was saying that they were not going to change the per ounce price. So you figure whatever the cost of a 4 pack was, that's what 48, 96 ounces of beer divided by or the price divided by 96 ounces of beer gives you the per ounce price, and then you just multiply that by how much is in a pint, 16 ounces, something like that, and you could reverse engineer it. But I'm guessing it comes to be around what, like $8 a bottle, something like that.
So they'll probably charge
$7.
10.
Yeah,
You
it'll
know,
be 7 or 8. Yeah, well, yeah.
so that's not bad because then because again I'm not gonna get the rare, and I may skip the proprietors. But the proprietors, I thought when you were describing it with the peppers, and you pointed that
Mm.
out, I thought that was still with the coconut, but they took that out entirely, and it's just a different recipe for proprietors this year. They
Oh
didn't do
yeah.
coconut.
No, it's completely different. It sounds like they are making it a competition on an annual basis now too, where they'll get I don't know who all is involved, but the employees will kind of take home like, actually, I think it's part of the Grit and Grain series that they've been releasing. The latest episode shows them bringing home bottles of like a 4 pack of regular BCS and then adding ingredients at home and kind of spitballing what they think the next proprietor should be. So
Mm. Yeah, I'm about 3 or 4 episodes behind on that series. It's been a while, but it's pretty good so far from what I've seen. I like just the history behind it all and everything. It's kind of cool. What's new with you, Skylar? Busy at the brewery as usual, I assume.
Yep, as usual. There all the time. So yeah, doing good though. Constant expanding. Uh, just so much stuff. Bigger parking lot. Building a sign. Our sign is going to be a lighthouse. We're building a lighthouse basically.
That's cool.
oh man.
So that's going to be fun. We just ran electricity for the light, and the light will be on whenever we're open. So now we just got to build the thing, ran electricity to the back building where we plan on expanding our brewery operations eventually, getting the electricians out there, and upgraded our small batch system today. I built a new boil kettle, so our small batches have gone from the beginning from like little 5-gallon homebrew batches to 10-gallon batches to half-barrel batches, now 1 barrel, to complement the 20-barrel system. Lots of stuff. Got on Groupon today. Groupon called us up. They're like, hey, we want to add exposure to you. I was like, all right. So for
That's cool.
Groupons, I'm starting this Brew You thing where I teach people how to brew at home, different classes and all that. So
Nice.
the coolest part of that is that they choose what beer. I work with them to build a recipe for it, and then whenever it's done, we put it on tap in our tap room, and they get to drink as much of it for free as they want.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone else do that yet, so.
No.
No, that's awesome. I was gonna ask you guys, and since you work at a brewery, have you guys ever heard of this Synek thing? Synek, Synek. I'll send you the link in the chat here. This is something I only found out through a brewery here in Chicago that offers growler fills, 4-packs, 5 or 6-packs, and then they call them Synek fill-ups. Let me type this in here for you.
Well, all those things are illegal in Texas anyway, so if it has...
Oh, that's right.
We're working on it. We're soon
I don't know if that's the full link or not, but let me see. So what it is, it's a home dispensing system, like a little tap system.
Oh.
But you take like an empty, it's like a plastic bag, sort of. They call it a cartridge, and you take it to breweries, and they'll fill them up, and you take it home, and you have their beer on tap, rather than having it going bad in the growler. So I assume it lasts longer.
So it's like a miniature keg?
Yeah. I mean, kind of. But it's a bag that you dispose of.
Looking at the map, yeah, we've got a lot of brew pubs here in Texas. Brew pubs can legally do off-premises sales. Breweries can't.
Right.
But yeah, this is apparently a thing that I was not aware of. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat. Unfortunately, though, I've lost by clicking the link to that in the chat. I can no longer see you guys. So let me see if I could just back this up. No, that's not working.
It's usually in a different tab.
Yeah, usually it does. It's not this time. I can hear you guys, but I cannot see you. So let's see if I.
That's all right. I have a face for radio.
Yeah, let me
Stop that.
let me close this, and if it works, if it doesn't work, I'll jump back on.
Uh-oh. He's gone.
He's gone. Are we still live? We're still live.
Well, we're technically live, but I don't think anybody can see us because it's all driven by his account. So, he rejoined. There he is.
There we go.
Back and still sleeping.
What's that? Yeah, the cat's not going anywhere. And the dog's down here too. I got the whole animal kingdom going on.
Woohoo!
Oh, yep. Dog's dead asleep. So yeah, I saw that and I thought that was kind of a cool little idea.
Yeah.
I think the base unit was like $325 or something like that.
I will stick to my homemade kegerator, but for people with disposable income, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Pico brew.
Yeah.
You say that, yeah, I was thinking that it kind of resembled it, but it's a totally different thing. It's like...
No, it is different.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't had much luck with those growler savers. I have one, and I've only used it once or twice, and it didn't really work as well as I'd like.
Yeah.
So
gadgets, like craft beer enthusiast gadgets, are huge. And it's like every day I hear about some new Kickstarter or something, or someone's making something. And, some of them are awesome, some of them are not so awesome. Um, it's just like everyone wants to reinvent the growler, and interesting times.
yeah, I've never seen so many different versions of a growler now these days.
Actually, did you see the mugs that Chris put up on his G Plus page
Oh
today?
yeah, I saw that. See, another gadget where it's like,
That is totally the Teddy Ruxpin of glassware for beer.
What is it?
It's like this. It's a Kickstarter, and what it is it's a mug that lights up, but it has an app associated with it. So it has all these features, like you can make it glow. You can have it the color of your sports team's colors. You can have it, you can have it glow in sequence with other people's, glowy mugs to make a game out of it. It said they said that after you drink a certain number of beers, it will automatically call a cab for you, so you can get home responsibly. I mean, it's just a ridiculous. I mean, you got to see it. It looks like the big frosty mug that you'd get like at I don't know, like at an Applebee's or something, that someone put lights in.
That's hilarious.
It's just Teddy Ruxpin of glassware. It's just
I saw something online that was another Kickstarter. What is it called? I'm gonna try not to blast the volume on this. But it was called. What is this thing called? It was like a handle that you it's like a Japanese. No, it's not Japanese. Why does it say that here? It's like a plastic handle that has like a kind of a hook on both sides, and you can put it and attach it to any can. So beer can, soda can, whatever. And so you just make a mug out of every can of beer. And I'm like, really?
why?
I don't know.
I mean, okay. Well, on the plus side, Mystery Science Theater 3000 Kickstarter. So
yeah.
So excited about that.
yeah, and they've already gotten a buttload of money.
Yeah, I think they've already surpassed the goal, and they're just kind of got gravy going on after that.
$15 at a time.
It's gonna be a different host, though, isn't it? Or not? Like the
No, same people.
So Mike Nelson's gonna be on. I mean, I know the original voices are gonna be on, but I thought I heard that they were gonna use a different host, or like not Mike Nelson or not Joel, but somebody else.
No, I thought that Joel was the one that was going to be a part of it.
Joel's coming back.
Yeah, he's actually the one that started the Kickstarter to begin with. But yeah, from what I understand, unless they go in some different direction, who knows?
I would hope not. But do you guys ever go to see any of their live events that they do now?
I know they have like a live event around Houston that's been done like a few times, and I just can never make it out. But
well, they do because I can't remember where they normally broadcast from, but they do live events where they will broadcast through.
Oh yeah, through Fathom events.
Yeah, through Fathom events to movie theaters all over the country. They'll perform a riff track. They call them riff tracks now.
Yeah.
They'll do riff tracks live via satellite, and you can go to theaters anywhere across the country, and you just watch them do their thing, and it's so much fun. They've got I've seen Sharknado.
That was awesome. I saw that too.
What was the Manos Hands of Fate is one of the ones that is one of my favorites. But they'll do like old classic Mystery Science Theater ones with all new like jokes and stuff. It's fantastic.
Actually, what's kind of funny is that their headquarters for Fathom is like right by Zach's brewery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like right there. It's hilarious.
I saw that. Next time I'm up there.
Yeah, I mean it's not literally across the street, but it's like he's within walking distance or probably biking distance.
Everything in Colorado is across the street. I'm sorry.
It's probably
across the street up there.
Did you go to GABF this year? I can't remember.
No, maybe next year for sure.
Have you ever been?
Nope. I would love to.
It's quite amazing. You'll have a blast as a brewer up there. You'll make so many friends.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. And I've heard so many things about GABF from other brewers around town, and I'm pretty sure next year is going to be the year that we go. I can bring some kegs and actually enter. But this past year was like we were still way too new, gathering money up and all that. So I'm excited for it. They say if you want to meet a brewer at GABF, don't look around the festival. Look at the nearby pot shops.
That was the joke of the year. Every podcast I heard with brewers that went, they were like, "Yeah, it's the Great American Weed Festival now." He's like, "All my guys go out there just to smoke weed legally."
Yep.
God.
But they also say the festival's, fun and all, but the place to go to taste some of the best beers are just all the events that are held at all the restaurants, and there's dinners and there's bar events and stuff. The Falling Rock does huge stuff every time. It's a great town. It's a fun time, but I would love to go hopefully in the next year or two, especially when Zach's down there now, and if you're gonna be there, I think that would be really really fun time just to get together.
Oh, yeah. We all just need to
What's that?
just have a huge meetup, share some beers.
I agree. Well, bring some really good stuff from our neck of the woods and just drink up.
Have some beers.
And so Ballast Point, how about?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Oh man. You know what? Sign of the times. It's like that is going to be. We're still in that phase where we're kind of like, oh my God, that just happened. But if you think about it, it's been happening more and more rapidly, and it's going to get to the point where it's just like, oh, okay, there's another one.
I mean, California's getting eaten up. I mean,
Yeah.
California is just getting up.
Well, that's because they've got the most breweries, though, per capita, I want to say. Or not per capita, but it's the most number in the state.
That's why you go to California, you get bought out, right? That's the whole shtick.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But really, Constellation Brands, they're not like a horrid company or anything.
right.
$1 billion. That's
Yeah. Are you gonna pass that up? Like, would you ever pass up $1 billion?
That's but honestly, I thought about it. I was trying to put myself in their shoes, and looking at the past year with what Ballast Point has accomplished on their own in the past year, I feel like they could have probably held out another year or two and made that $2-3 billion.
Yeah. Well, and they were actually, if I remember right, they were about to go public.
Yeah.
I want to say that Ballast Point was toying with going public and having an IPO in the next month or two. So I was kind of surprised when the deal went down, because I was like, I guess someone else decided that, hey, okay, let's get them before they go public.
That's right, because didn't you text me a month ago? You were like, hey, are you going to invest in Ballast Point? I was like, what are you talking about?
That's the thing is once someone decides to go public, that's when you're like, okay, it's a money grab at this point. It's just I think they just probably made more money off of this deal.
So I'm not going to take credit for this comparison. This was something I saw. Remember from the show, he jumps on in California from time to time. Cash, Chris. He made an amazing point on Facebook, and it almost makes perfect sense to use as a comparison, because beer geeks and all other kind of geeks are pretty much a lot of the same people, and he's like, there's a lot of people talking shit about Ballast Point selling out for $1 billion, and this and that, but these are the same people that have no problem standing in line to go see the new Star Wars movie after George Lucas sold it to Disney for how much more money, and nobody has an issue with that.
Well, as a matter of fact, a lot of people are kind of like, you know what? I'm glad it's out of George's hands, because now someone can make better movies than those three prequels.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am so freaking excited for that movie to come out, and Battlefront just came out.
Don't even get me started on this. All right, I'm the biggest like Star Wars geek of all time, and it's like here's Disney, like the worst fucking company, who just keeps buying shit. And it's like for the video games, it's like yes, let's get the worst company that could possibly make video games, EA, and have them do all our games from now on. And I boycotted EA when Origin came out 4 or 5 years ago. Haven't bought a single EA game since, and I'm dying inside because I played through Battlefront 1, right? Battlefront 2, and then here's this new Battlefront. But that's what EA does. They take the games and they're like, let's call it the name the game was originally, and then just confuse everyone. They did it with SimCity. It's like SimCity. I loved Maxis. Played through everything. And the SimCity 4 is like the new SimCity, SimCity 5, is just called SimCity. It's like, how can I determine the SimCity done in the 1980s from SimCity of today? I'll stop.
You do look like you're about to go on a tear on
I mean,
that.
I know why you're dying inside, because goddamn, doesn't it look good? It looks so good. It looks good. It sounds good.
I want to support this.
Well, you know what? All I'm gonna say is Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, that's and Pixar. I mean, they're both bringing it, and I don't think Disney is the problem. I think it is. Well, I think it's any decision on any given movie that can be the problem, and it sounds like Abrams was the right guy for this one. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
I was talking more about the game, though. The game looks great.
I mean, you did
I've been
make-
hearing people killing time with that one.
I've been watching YouTube videos all through the betas and stuff like that. It looks fantastic. So, looks like Kevin's trying to jump on.
I'm here.
Oh, all we see is your picture. We don't see your video.
That's all right. You're not missing much.
Okay.
So, can you describe your beer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
And
it is
it's like a little edge.
it's a Shorts Soft Parade,
Nice.
which is a high gravity ale fermented with blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries.
Ooh.
So when I saw what
Okay.
how it was described elsewhere, it was basically a fruit rye beer.
Yeah.
So I'm tasting it now. You still can't see me, right?
Nope, still can't see you.
No. Well, it's served in my lovely
I'm gonna mute Dan.
Blitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous glass. In case you can't picture that.
Yeah, all we see is your picture.
Okay.
All
Is
right,
it very berry?
I'm gonna unmute Dan. Yeah, it's very berry beer. I love that one.
It is. That's pretty good.
Let me unmute.
I'm gonna
you
give
there.
it. I gotta give it some time before I get a full opinion on that. The first sip is kind of trying to decipher everything going on. Very
Wait,
fruity.
is Kevin in a dark room?
No, he's just got his pictures showing. He's not. His video's not working.
Okay,
It's working on mine.
that's weird.
Well, it's
Anyway,
kind of.
I'm gonna try and I'll try to log off and back on because that would be weird to have just my picture there with me talking.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it wouldn't be the first time on the show that someone had to do that.
This episode. But yeah, he's got the soft parade like I had predicted, which is the first thing I thought of when I first smelled this beer. So makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I have no problems with the EA games, to be honest with you. I haven't had any issues. There's Kev. What's up?
Yep, we can see you now. Oh, now we can't hear you though. No.
Oh.
Oh,
now we
good.
can hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Anyway, this is what it. This is what it looked like. This is what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
This has actually been sitting in my fridge for like a year and a half. I've never had an opportunity to have a high gravity ale fermented with berries.
Oh, that's
very
interesting.
Just want to
It's
see.
also that beer's like 7 or 8%, isn't it?
It is. I eat 7.5.
Sorry, Skylar, I didn't mean to step over you. What were you saying?
I don't know. What was I saying? I never know. Things just come out and
We've gotten we went quickly from the Ballast Point story to Star Wars. So we could
yes,
take
funny how that happens.
so,
Ballast Point was my backup wacky beer.
which one? The grapefruit?
No, the Scottish pumpkin ale.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had that one yet.
I've never otherwise had a Scottish pumpkin ale.
No, it seems like they're putting everything in pumpkin, or pumpkin in everything, I should say.
Yeah,
this year.
there was a pumpkin sour I saw at the store. I didn't get it. Pumpkin imperial stout, pumpkin
Someone's telling me
porter,
about a pumpkin
Yeah.
cider. I've not
pumpkin
seen
cider.
that.
I've seen that. I think I bought that.
Yep. No, I saw that at Firkin. Actually, today at Firkin, they had 21st Amendment, had two pumpkin offerings. One was a Baltic Porter from 21st Amendment, and the other was a pumpkin triple.
You're kidding.
So, nah. So, yep.
I got pumpkin saison here too, and
It's everywhere.
It's crazy. 21st Amendment's been putting out some good stuff out here too. They've got quite a few boxes of beer because they come in the.
they're relatively new, right, to us.
Well, it's the last year.
Yeah, last year or two.
Yeah. Because I've only gotten it a couple times, and I liked what I got. What's their like standard issue IPA?
Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, that's the one I had, and it was really good.
The watermelon beer is all right. The watermelon Hellas.
What is the Spaceman or Space Monkey, or it's the one with the chimpanzee in the spacesuit and it's space something. It's
Back
a
in
black
Black.
IPA. Yeah, Back in Black.
That's their black IPA. That one's
Yeah.
great.
That one is good.
I haven't had that.
But I just had their toaster pastry, which was like a strawberry, like it was a hoppy red ale maybe, or an IPA with.
I haven't seen these. Do they sell them all in that 6-pack of boxes, or the box of 6 cans?
Usually,
Not all of
yeah.
them.
Usually that, but the toaster pastry came in like I think it was like a tall boy.
Yeah, it wasn't a stovepipe. It wasn't quite a stovepipe. It was a tall boy, I think.
No, it's speaking of cans,
Wait, what's the stovepipe?
Oh, that's when you're getting like a 20-ounce, 22-ounce can. So it's a little bit.
Tall boy
Just,
being
a
16
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're actually seeing like Oscar Blues puts out a number of them.
Okay.
I want to say, Microphone here in Chicago is putting out an oversized can like
those
that
are
too. It's
huge.
I know.
Have
It's
you
like
had that
a
one yet?
tanker. I did.
What'd you
Yeah.
think of
It was okay. I mean, it was good.
It's Spin Doctor, right?
Yeah, it was definitely not the same caliber as say like a Zombie Dust or the Citra Pale from was it Odd Sides?
Yep.
But it was good. I mean, it was really good. I wouldn't refuse it if someone poured me a pint.
No,
so
I've had about 2 of their beers and they're outstanding.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
But I just had the Harvest Ale or the wet hopped IPA from 6 Point, the Sensi or the Sensei, however you pronounce it. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really, really good. I
haven't had a 6 Point in a while.
Dude, get that one. It's a seasonal, so it might be going quickly. I don't know how popular it is, but I was a big fan. They're all gone and it went quickly. So
Okay. Wait, which one is that again?
it's called Sensi, Sensi, Sensei.
Sensei.
Yeah, I thought it was that, but I don't know.
Maybe
can't
not.
tell.
It's fresh hopped, so it's very, 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 very limited. When you think about how hops are processed, and by the way, it's the hop farmers that are killing it right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, more than any part of the process, those guys are making the money.
Yeah, it is.
And really, it's this small area of time where the hops are being harvested. It's a week or 2 out of the year. Maybe extending to a month, depending on where you're looking. That the hops go from the farm to the processing plant where it's dried and then sent to the brewers. Now, it's within this very small time range that the hops can be used fresh, as in still wet, not dehydrated or dried. And that's where that beer would come from, is it gives you a very grassy kind of almost like you're throwing flowers, because really that's what hops are. They're flowers, you know, and you're getting that flavor. It's really cool. I really want to do, you know, just like wet hopped beer, but hops do not grow in Texas. Hops like high altitude and cold climates, and we have neither of those.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. But actually, it's getting bad this year for the hop farmers, generally speaking, like Pacific Northwest and the Yakima Valley, because they've had drought conditions, and hops like their water, and they have just, you know, especially certain varieties, and they just have not been getting enough. So it's been pretty brutal.
Well, it's kind of it would be hard to start if you wanted to get into hop farming now, because you need like three turnovers to get a full yield now at this point, and then also you don't know what to plant, because the Citra that's so popular this year could be, you know, who knows what it'll be. It'll be a completely new variety that hasn't even been invented yet or discovered yet, and so it's hard, and I remember, I forget where I was. I was at a live recording of Good Beer Hunting, of their podcast, and they had Kevin Lemp from Four Hands talking about that, and he was like, yeah, he's like, the hop farmers are doing great, but you know, it's hard to predict, you know, what to plant. You know, everyone wants Citra now, so that's the hop of the year, and it's been that way for, you know, a couple of years now. Since honestly, I never even heard of Citra until Zombie Dust came out, and then it kind of exploded, and everyone wanted it. So
Citra was a proprietary strain developed in 2008. It's really crazy, but since then, you know, you have Citra and you have Simcoe and Mosaic and all these new proprietary brands that keep popping up. Really, the hop farmers are an advantage, because they don't have to worry about that as much if they sign up with a conglomerate like Hop Union, where the breweries have to promise to buy so many hundreds of pounds of hops, but the year before the farmers grow it, so they're always guaranteed to sell what they plant, because they already have contracts with the brewery that say, for example, I've got a contract for 500 pounds of Mosaic. I'm going to get that Mosaic, and the farmers, you know, they planted that much to make sure that they'd be able to do that.
Right.
Things like a Hop Union kind of make that a little bit easier for the farmers to be like, okay, we can definitely make money off this. I think that's a really cool just kind of strategy that's popped up between the brewers and the farmers that you're seeing a lot more of nowadays.
Well, and in addition to that, really, when you look at sort of where all the money is in hops, it's not in those small proprietary hop clusters that you're getting, like Citra and all that. I mean, it's still Budweiser, it's still Miller. Those styles of beer are driving the noble hops, really, and the IPA hops are fractional by comparison in terms of the total amount of the market represented by hop strains, you know, or, you know, the hop strains represented within the market, I should say. So you're still seeing, you know, like pounds and pounds of Hallertauer for every ounce of like a Simcoe going into the marketplace, and that's where the money is. Big volume, you know, noble hops. So.
Yeah, and that's true mostly because, you know, Citra and all that, again, they're proprietary. They're not grown anywhere else except for like one place that has them. So, you know, the Hallertauer, that's such a, and really when you talk about the noble hops, you know, Saaz and Hallertauer and all that, Tettnang, they're grown all over the place, but to really be truly noble, they have to come from the area in which they originated. But you do see a lot of, like, you know, American grown this and New Zealand grown that. Nothing wrong with that, but you're going to get higher alpha acids and not as much, what do the wine people call it, terroir? Or some crap like that.
No, that's the right word for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely showing regional differences based on agricultural conditions, like in the alpha beta ratios, and yeah, the sheer number of alpha acids in one region versus another. So that's true.
You mentioned the mosaic. That's one of my favorites now. That's been coming up a lot now. Kevin, what was the beer that you said that was it the Mosaic Hero from Revolution, or you said that was
Oh,
like
that's right. Yeah, I have another one of those. I was saying how I had that Mosaic Hero, and I had it, and I didn't have it last year when it was out, and it's the first time I had that version of their anti-hero. And I had it, and I said to my wife, I think that was the best beer I've had in as long as I can remember. Like it was everything perfect. That comes along with, I'm sure, the situation. I'm sitting there like, this is exactly what I would expect, and I couldn't change anything else about it.
everything about.
For as much beer we drink and as much different beer, you don't get that very often.
No, not at all.
It's a hell of a hop, and it's really popular right now.
It is or it is not very popular.
Very popular. There's not enough to go around because the thing about Mosaic, it's super like tropical. It's like pineapple. It's like mango. It's like everything combined. Whereas like Citra is very citrusy and very grapefruity. Simcoe is very piney, very resiny. Mosaic is kind of the best of all worlds. It's like a starburst that just in your beer. It's really cool. There's a brewery here in Texas called Lone Pine, and the most popular IPA in Texas right now is their Yellow Rose, and it's a smash beer. It's really 2-row barley and Mosaic hops. You put those together, and suddenly everyone is freaking out because it's just those hops. They're the star of the show, no matter what beer you put them in. I have a double IPA. I have Mosaic along with a few other hops, and it's just like it sells like crazy, just because it's such an interesting, really well developed hop. So you're gonna see more and more and more of it. I guarantee you.
Trying to unmute Dan and I can't. There you go.
No, that's because I unmuted me and then you remuted me.
I was like, what?
Why'd you do that to me, man?
I was like, why did it just mute again? Yeah, that's cool. I really love that beer. I didn't have it this year. I had it last year. So, when is that? Is that a current release, or would it be kind of?
Yeah, I had it a month ago, and then I saw it. I actually have another bottle in there because I got one maybe 2 weeks ago, and I haven't.
Gotcha.
You know what I had also that I haven't had in forever? I had a Three Floyds Brewdew. I hadn't had that in years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's a nice beer.
That's their Harvest Ale, right?
Yeah. I hadn't even seen it in probably 4 or 5 years. So it was as good as I remembered it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm liking the Harvest Ales. I just had the one from the Wild Onion up here in the burbs where Dan and I live, and like it is the maltiest IPA I've ever had in my entire life. It's a wet hopped IPA. I think it's called Otis. My friend Brad gave it to me, and he and I had never had such a malty IPA in my entire life. It was really, it was cool, but it did not. I almost had. I checked the bottle because I was like, "Is this a lager?" I literally thought it was a different style. But I guess they're all kind of different.
Yep.
What were we talking? Okay, so the Ballast Point. Kevin, did you hear about that? Were you the buyout? The Ballast Point was purchased for $1 billion this week.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
I wish I had the sound effects up.
Got it.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I don't think there was any much else news other than that in the beer world this week. Do you guys remember anything that we might have missed talking about earlier?
$1 billion.
Nice.
Had it that time.
That was fantastic.
Now you got me going into the effects. What were you gonna say, Dan?
No, I mean just in terms of like brewery news, I can't think of anything. But there's always
$1 billion. And then there's the always. Well, I won't hit the gong because that's. All right, I'm gonna stop playing with that. So I don't know what we got about 5 minutes left. What do you guys want to drink next week?
Beer.
Here's the question. It's Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it next week.
Yeah, I'm a very iffy because I think that we've got family coming in that day. So
right. Let's take the holiday then.
Right.
We'll regroup the week after that. I'll be off of work all that week and the week after that, so I will have plenty of time to stock up on good beers, and we'll let everyone have yourselves a good Thanksgiving then. Do we want to pick for the following week after that, though?
Yeah, we could do that.
What's going on? So what day? That would be the December something, right?
Around the 1st of December.
Yeah, that's looking like about the 30th.
The 2nd.
2nd. Yeah, it's the 2nd.
Do we go with, I was going to say.
What was that?
Winter warmers?
Yeah.
All right.
No objection.
It is the time.
It's back to barley wines.
Yeah.
Again.
Kevin missed. You guys missed it, so I'll gladly do it again. I just wish I had the same.
Let's just do barley wines every single week.
It'll be the 12 barley wines of Christmas.
I'm in. But yeah, we man, I had the one that I had last week was amazing. It was the barrel aged Murderous out of Heaven Hill Bourbon Barrels. It was a year old. It was probably the best barley wine I've ever had. It was amazing. So, but as far as the Christmas beers and the holiday ales that they've got, I don't know what's the politically correct way of mentioning them now at this point. But a lot of them call them Christmas ales, anyways. But you guys, I know those age pretty well. What do you guys kind of have in your cellar at this point for in regards to that style? Because I don't have many.
Actually, I've got one that's more of a Thanksgiving one.
What's that?
That is Avery came out with a couple of pumpkin beers that were aged in bourbon barrels or other barrels. And I got, the pumpkin was Pumpky for Kentucky N or something like that. Mm-hmm. That one I was actually going to pull out and see how that tasted now, because I got a couple of bottles of that back last year, and I was like, I'm going to sit on this a year and see what that's like for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, actually, it's funny you bring that up, because I just had Fistmas when I was at the training for FOBAB at Revolution, and that's definitely not one you want to age. That's like an IPA.
Yeah, but it's pretty hoppy for a Christmas ale.
Yeah. And it's relatively sessionable, and it's. I think what really kind of puts it in that category is the ginger that they put in there.
McDonald's, I want to pick.
Yeah. Before we go, you should probably mention FOBAB. Are they still looking for volunteers?
As far as I know, they probably still are. It's going to be an interesting one this year because the weather is looking kind of iffy, and I'm going to be front of house on Saturday, and Saturday is when it's snowing. So yay.
Yeah, anyone who's watching who doesn't know what FOBAB is, it's the Festival of Barrel-Aged Beers here in Chicago. It's like one of the bigger events around this time of the year. So they'll most likely have a lot of Bourbon County Stout variants for you to try. I heard Revolution's got a little oasis that they're going to have doing giveaways and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
But yeah, you'll have to report about that. Make sure you write down what you can, because you won't remember it.
Well, no, when I'm volunteering, I will, because you can't really drink while you're pouring beers, or certainly not when you're outside taking tickets or checking IDs or whatever. But yeah, after that, all bets are off. That's when the camera comes out and I start taking pictures of the beers I've drunk.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how pouring as a volunteer at one of these festivals is like, because I thought about it. I just don't have the time at this point. But it sounds
Don't
like
get to drink.
What's that?
You don't get to drink.
But on the upside, they do have a volunteer area that has beer. So
And
it sounds like
you also get
either before or after. Oh yeah.
and you also get to go to the second session, don't you? Without having to be a volunteer.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing because I've signed up for Friday now too because I needed people. But yeah, I mean, they'll cut off that visit or the volunteer bracelet and put on the bracelet for people who are actually drinking, and away you go. So, and hopefully they do that while you're still inside the UIC forum, because if you have to get in line outside, it could be hours before you get back in. Thank you for that. That's right.
You're
Time
welcome.
keeps on slipping.
This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
That's right. Whoa, okay, that was wrong.
That was a lot of stuff going on at once.
It's like an elephant in there.
All right, so I will let you guys go, and want to thank you for joining, and wish you guys a good holiday for next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, drink lots of great beer, and we will regroup and drink Winter Warmers on the 2nd of December. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.